On the next Power Rangers, the ancient temple doors open to our heroes as they enter the chamber of the great and mighty Ninjor.
Who's out there? I want answers!
When Ninjor reveals himself to the Rangers, he learns of their plight.
Our leader Zordon sent us on a quest for new powers and Zords.
With the Rangers powerless, Lord Zed is not about to let up.
We get a full-scale attack on the city of Angel Grove.
Can our heroes regain their powers before it's too late? Find out on the next Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Good morning, Slashketeers, and welcome to episode number 15 of Trax Saturday Mornings. I'm Alex Vanover, and joined by me, as always, my co-pilot and the head of the Falcon Ninja Megazord, the 80s slasher librarian himself, Mr. Josh LaRue.
With technical difficulties today. Ninjor didn't give me proper camera work.
If Zordon and Alpha 5 were working in your home studio right now, Zordon would be bitching at Alpha 5 about the picture-in-picture.
Yeah, Alpha came over all geeked out on meth again and like just undid everything on my computer like he did in the command center.
Why
just
didn't he
took everything apart?
He's gonna unplug it and take everything apart. Why doesn't he clean it while he's doing that and then replug it in?
Plug it in, plug it in.
Josh, so today obviously we're deep diving and reviewing part 3 of Ninja Quest for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This episode, Josh, is episode 6 of season 3, which would follow consecutively from the previous episodes we did, season 3, episodes 4 and 5. And Josh, this episode aired on a Wednesday, 29 years and 20 days ago.
That's crazy. That's just crazy.
I have like not a lot of back information or fun facts for this one because we used a lot of them in the previous two. But what I do have is pretty neat because I went even kind of like another level of stuff that you and I in particularly enjoy, like what we actually really enjoy. Yeah. So I'm about ready to lay it on you. Okay. So this episode, September 13th, 1995 was the original air date. It was a Wednesday, middle of the school week. School had just started again, probably. The director, again, is Mr. Terrence H. Weekless. I have nothing on him. We've already used everything we could. I decided to do a little deep dive on Shuki Levy, who, if you're a Power Rangers fan, you're familiar with this name because he pretty much did the music for all the Power Rangers incarnations. And he was actually the writer. He was one of the writers for this series. His credits to this date are the 2017 Power Rangers movie, the new one, the reboot, Power Rangers Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. He also, this is a really interesting one. You know how Amy Jo Johnson did that Disney movie, Susie Q, where she like came back from the dead? She's basically like a ghost.
Yeah,
right?
It's like My Boyfriend's Back, but it's a girl. Yeah,
exactly. And she's coincidentally wearing a pink dress, but Shuki Levy wrote that movie.
Wow.
So that would explain the Amy Jo Johnson casting.
Well, I mean, how hard was it to write the Ninja Quest miniseries? It's like, okay, so just take the movie and like act like you've got like 1/10 of the budget, and instead of a really hot half-naked chick giving their powers, make it like a really annoying blue guy, and make sure he talks like, "My name is Ninjor" or something, and roll with it.
Instead of having an Amazonian goddess give you your powers, have it be a sexually confused Zord. Royal Canadian Mounted Police ninja AI robot. Shuki Levy also wrote for Beetleborgs and Mask Rider.
Of course he did.
So of course he did. Josh, the thing I was talking about a little bit earlier when I said I didn't have a lot of fun facts, but I have one fun fact that you and I in particular would enjoy. God, why can't I say that? The Happy Meal toys for this specific week at McDonald's. So for the week of September 1st through for the month, actually, excuse me. September 1st through the 28th of 1995, The Busy World of Richard Scarry. The toys were available at McDonald's.
Ah, okay.
You remember those toys at all?
Yeah, I do. And I remember I got like a CD-ROM in the mail that had like 10 demos on it at one point of computer games, and that was one of the games on it.
Yeah,
it was like a little kid's show.
Yeah, and like wasn't there a worm that like drove an apple or something?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I remember specifically about that. And if you were curious, Slashketeers, when the Power Ranger movie toys were available in 1995, they were available at McDonald's July 7th through July 31st of 1995. So actually pretty recent compared to when The Busy World of Richard Scarry was available. So the movie must have came out a couple months prior to this Ninja Quest being on TV, right?
Yeah, instead of doing what they did with Turbo, the movie, which was like Turbo picks up the TV show Turbo picks up after the end of the Turbo movie.
Mm-hmm.
But with this one, like we talked about before, it's like it's different universes. Like the movie takes place in its own continuity, its own continuity, out there somewhere. But yeah, so they had to redo the ninja story because the whole reason they did the ninja thing in the movie was because they knew they were switching to that Sentai season of footage. We need to start like looking up the Sentai season when we do these reviews so we can talk about which Super Sentai is being used at the time.
Okay.
But yeah, that's something we should write down and do. I just thought of that. But
okay.
Oh, just
I'll
showing off my spooky. Just wanted to show off my spooky season shirt since we're in October now.
Michael Myers, and that actually looks like Michael Myers. That Jason Voorhees one you have, they did a terrible job with the chevrons.
Yeah, I sent you that pic. So bad.
Yeah, that one's great. That is phenomenal. I was gonna say, actually, I don't even know what I was gonna say. I don't know what I was gonna say.
We were talking about the movie and the show being the same this season and being in different universes. And
I don't remember what I was gonna say. But that is a great shirt.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Dude, don't get old. Obviously I am getting old. This episode was aired 29 years ago and 20 days ago. So hey, let's get into something fun. Let's break down this episode.
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So this episode starts with the Rangers searching for Tommy. So they don't know where Tommy is. Billy is kind of leading the other Rangers around the deadly desert of despair, and he finds some stairs that he assumes leads to Ninjor's temple and hopefully Tommy, right?
Yeah. And Adam gets a line here. Tommy, where are you, or something? But what I took from the scene was that Tommy was like never really good. That spell never really got broken. And when they finally find him by that gate, he's like, crap, shit, I was going to take all the ninja powers for myself.
The first appearance of the Master Morpher, he has all 6 ninja powers.
Go in there and just pulls out the death sword of evil and like destroys Ninjor and takes the ninja power for his own.
I always wanted to see, like when the movie came out, I was always like such a big Green Ranger fan that I was like, God, I would have loved to see a Green Ranger movie suit.
Oh yes, especially in that reboot they did a few years ago.
I know, damn it.
Man, I was in the theater for that, and when the Power Rangers song broke out with the Zords, like every parent in the auditorium watching the movie like started whooping and hollering and clapping. It was so cool.
Okay, now I don't know if this is like one of those things where I'm just remembering it because I wish it happened, or it was like Sinbad playing a genie. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here. I went to see the Power Rangers movie in the theater just like you, the 2017 one. I had heard a rumor that if they had a sequel, like there was an Easter egg where they were going to introduce the Tommy character.
Yeah, at the very end of the credits, it's like Tommy Oliver is like he's supposed to be at detention, or she's supposed to be at detention. And they're not there, but it shows their desk with like a green jacket and stuff, and it was the tease for it. Yeah.
Okay, so I did remember that then.
Yeah, it was right after they murdered Rita Repulsa in cold blood. Yes.
Rita. Side note: Rita was evil in that movie, and she did a lot of her handiwork herself.
We're gonna have to do like a back-to-back Power Ranger movie review of like the '95 film and then the 2017. Really.
Yeah. Did you mean like the Carnosaur style?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, hey, side note real quick. Slashaholics, if you guys are watching the Saturday morning right now, I have something I want to bring up to Josh right now. I want to get his answer on screen.
Okay.
I had an idea. Do you want to do, I know that the Trax season 4 doesn't start for a while, but did you want to do a Halloween special where it's just a Halloween special this month?
Just a one-off?
Yeah, it'd be like season 3.5 or something. Just one episode where me and you riff a Halloween movie. Maybe we could take a poll from the main channel's audience and see which one they'd really like to see us do a special on. I just
Okay.
thought of that.
You mean like a Michael Myers movie or just a
Could
Halloween?
be anything they wanted us to riff, but like Halloween themed probably.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. I think that'd be neat.
for
We can
sure.
talk. Yeah, we can talk more about that later. Okay, so now they find Tommy, right? And he's trying to create the Master Morpher. Ninjor, they hear his voice. He tells them to leave, but he seems extremely bitchy while doing it.
Well,
He's in a
dude, look at all the freaking juice he has to go buy for the fog machines in that place, man. Like he's always having to run to the store to get more fog juice.
well, he's got to go to Spirit Halloween, and they're only open like 2 months out of the year.
Look at all
Yeah,
that fog.
a lot of stress, man.
So he's bitchy. What's he bitchy about?
He just seems really bitchy. He wants them to leave. The Power Rangers explained to Ninjor that they were sent by Zordon to get new powers. Ninjor immediately tells them to leave and to not let the door hit them on the ass on the way out.
Yeah, that was his word. He said, "Don't let the door hit you on the vampire ass egg on the way out." That's what he said.
Not my problem.
Not my problem. He's oh my god, Ninjor's voice, man. Second to only Alpha 6. Yo, 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 Power Rangers.
It's horrible. It ruins a great suit design. Because he looks like a mini Zord, like an actual human Zord. It's a great design. It looks great. I don't understand why he has the big N on his, like he's like Laverne from Laverne and Shirley.
Do you remember his future episodes where he helps the Rangers in giant battles and he goes, "You're making me angry," and like his shoulder things pop up, his head. You remember that? And his head changes and everything's got a U.
I don't, because I didn't see the later episodes. Remember?
Okay, well you're gonna get to see it pretty soon, but
Okay.
like act like a mad ninja and say, "You're making me angry."
You're making me angry.
That's about right. That's about it.
He's like Bobby Boucher in The Waterboy. The more pissed he gets, like the just stronger and tougher he is. Just spears all the monsters. Okay, so the Rangers have a full-on discussion after Ninjor has rebuked them.
They kiss his ass. They kiss his ass before he'll even talk to him.
They do without directly addressing him. They have like a full-on discussion in front of Ninjor with the 6 of them, right? So they're talking to themselves, but they want Ninjor to hear probably. And they basically decide we're going to try to go on and save the Earth with or without our own powers. And Ninjor is like, "You guys are pure of heart," or whatever, and decides they're worthy to get new powers.
I wanted to say Rocky gets a line here, and Adam ends up with a second and third line during this talk. And you're right about the power thing. They're like, we have the power inside ourselves, the power of teamwork and all that. And I'm just thinking like Billy's like, yeah, but that ain't going to help us teleport out of the desert of despair. And one of them's like, and you're right, Tommy, Lord Zed can never take that away from us. It's like, well, he could murder you.
I was just going to say,
he could destroy it that way.
He could gut you with that freaking big Z spear he's carrying around all the time. Yeah, not a great. Also, if they're admitting right there that they have extra powers without even having the powers, then yes, Josh, you were correct. They did cheat in the volleyball match.
Yep. See, they sure did.
They have the power inside of them all along, right? They're cheating.
What was their plan going to be, Alex, if they just walked out of there? They're in the desert of despair on another planet. Like, Zordon already told them, if you go, unless you get the powers, there's no coming back. There's no teleporting. You're going to have to eat. You're going to have to kill Tengus and fry up Tenga legs or something.
Yeah. And how are they going to do that? Hey, how are they going to do that? Because the Tenga warriors were born with protective armor. Like they actually have protective vests that they came out of the egg with. How are they going to get to the juicy breast meat of the Tenga warrior? the good part. They're going to be eating Tenga warrior ass and tails and toes if they're even lucky enough to kill one, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Tommy's like, "Hey, Adam, pass me part of that pecker."
Right, the pecker.
I'm hungry.
For those of you just tuning into this review as your first time seeing us, my son, whenever he was like 4, he called the Tenga Warriors the Peckers and yelled at me from another room while he's watching it saying, "Daddy, Daddy, the Peckers are destroying the Power Rangers." something we talked about last time happens next because we go to Lord Zed.
Yeah.
And he finally, after like a day of the Power Rangers being gone from protecting Earth, he's like, you know what, Rito? You should go destroy Angel Grove.
Yeah, I have that down too. I have
Okay.
Lord Zed finally decides to let Rito go and finish the job. And on that note, Josh, let's go to a quick commercial break.
Okay.
We'll be right back. Hello?
It's big. It's mega big. And it's only at one place. McDonald's. Power up to save the world. Now you can power up at McDonald's. Because right now, when you buy something to eat, you can get a free Power Rangers Power Coin. 13 coins in all. But you might want to hurry, because you're not the only one who wants Power Rangers.
Was that fun or what?
What?
Now back to our show.
So that the little power coins from McDonald's, that is what I talked about before. Like when I was like 11, like just was actually, I think I was about to turn 11.
Yeah, I was 11.
Yeah, I was about to turn 11. So I was like 10. I didn't really know how McDonald's promotions worked exactly. You know, I just thought it was there. And I was collecting these Pogs because I mean, I was like really into Pogs at the time for some reason. And
so was every other kid in America before they got banned because they were like gambling. Every principal in America is like, we have to stop this. It's evil.
oh God, I sold like a whole set of Pogs, not the Power Ranger ones, but like a giant thing of them in Slammers to a kid for like $40 one day in 5th grade. And the next day his parents came down and I got called to the office. It was his money for a field trip. So
Oh no.
I got in trouble. He got in trouble. But no, I was collecting the VR Trooper and Power Ranger Pogs. And I had all but like I needed one more Power Ranger one and 2 VR Troopers. And we went to McDonald's one day because my mom was taking me pretty regular because I was begging to go. And we went through and found out they weren't doing it anymore. And little 10-year-old Josh didn't understand and cried all the way home. So,
And there was no eBay, so you're screwed.
yeah, it was. I was very, very sad. Like I feel sorry for my little like younger self right now, but you know I'm a man now, and by God. Okay, we're gonna do this review.
That was back in the day. I feel your pain. That was back in the day where the only way you would have been able to get the rest of your set was a garage sale, or you had a friend that had doubles. That's it.
And I really did not understand like at all. And really cool story. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Went back like 2 days later, and this older lady that was there whenever we had asked for him remembered me like starting to cry in the car because I was like, I saw it on TV though. They still have it on TV. She found one and gave it to me, but it ended up being a one I already had.
Mm-hmm.
But that was very sweet of that lady looking back on that now. You know,
that is extremely nice that she was able to do that.
But yeah,
I was gonna say the Boo Buckets Slashaholics and Slashketeers are officially back, and they have a brand new design, and they're completely different than any other Boo Bucket they've ever had. They look like back in the 80s when Josh and I were kids, they look like Fry Guys. They look like the McDonald's mascots. They almost look like Fry Guy buckets.
I wish they'd bring back the Fry Guy toys that had costumes like Dracula and stuff.
Yeah, the McNugget buddies.
Yes,
the McNugget buddies.
Yeah.
The McNugget buddies that Josh and I collected last Christmas were pretty cool, but the Halloween ones were like the best.
Almost as cool as the little transforming food ones that we had back in the day.
Those were dope too. Transformer McDonald's food. That's crazy that they were even able to do that. So yeah, Lord Zed finally decides to send Rito to finish off Angel Grove. Meanwhile, we cut to Bulk and Skull, who are at the police academy. They're receiving new haircuts, and Bulk seems to be enjoying the haircut almost like a little too much. It almost seems sexual a little bit. He's got this really satisfied look of concentration on his face while he's getting his haircut. But that's okay, Slashaholics and Slashketeers. Don't even worry about Bulk getting gratification out of this haircut, because the person we need to worry about is actually the police instructor, because he looks like he's actually really, really enjoying that they're getting these haircuts. He's loving this.
A little creepy. He's always been a little creepy, especially, what the friendship he makes with these two guys going forward. Even when they're monkeys, he takes care of them, cleans their butts and stuff, I guess, as monkeys, but that's a different story for another day. They do get turned into monkeys for a whole season, by the way.
Okay.
But anyways, these are real haircuts, by the way. The actors got them while they were filming, and there's bloopers at the end of the episode of them filming where they look in the mirror and then they look at each other and they're supposed to be like, and the guy, Jason Narvey, cracks up Paul Schreier, and Paul's sitting there laughing, and Jason Narvey like looks at himself again and like and he hits it down, it hits his knee, and he picks the mirror back up and looks, he goes, oh my God, I broke the mirror. It was just a little, and that cracked each, like he's so ugly. So that was funny. They really got their haircut for the scene, and it's just really cool to see those little outtakes at the end, because you see they had a lot of fun making it. And yeah, Bulk and Skull, I enjoyed their stuff this episode. There's some stuff, I know we're about to come back to them in a minute, because first we get Ninjor again, and this is where he's like handing out the powers. And I just wanted to make this statement because we talked about last week how Ninjor didn't get to dress like half naked like the warrior princess in the movie.
Yeah.
When he's handing out the powers, just spoiler alert, when he gets to Adam does not go look all sad, and Ninjor doesn't go, what's wrong, Adam? And he doesn't go, I'm a frog. And Ninjor doesn't go, yes, Adam, a frog like the kind that you kiss. And then Ninjor doesn't kiss Adam and say, and it turns into a prince. So should we have gotten the kiss like in the movie? What do you think?
Missed opportunity in hindsight for sure.
Ninjor should have flirted with Adam, right? I mean, what the hell?
They could do it now. They could do it now with no question. Back in the mid 90s, probably not. But now they could absolutely do that. The thing I have like highlighted in that scene is, and I know we've been making fun of his voice, but it's underlined. Why is this his voice? Why did they choose this to be his voice?
I guess because it's a kid show, but like, I really don't know. Maybe the voice actors are just like, go in there and do your thing, and he's like, really, just do my thing. Should I use my normal voice? And they're like, sure. They thought he was like over, just being goofy. And then he starts talking. They're like, oh shit, that was his normal voice.
It's like comedic, like they're looking for like the Orko on He-Man kind of role, but like that role is already filled by Alpha 5, so they're doubling down kind of. Like if Ninjor is supposed to be the one who like created the power coins and bestowed upon him the dinosaur powers and helped Zordon and all this stuff, that voice, can you imagine him and Zordon coming up with some serious conversation about saving the universe with that voice? Ay. What is it, Alpha? It's just, I don't know. I just can't get over the fact that I know it's a kid's show, but there had to have been better options. Ninjor introduces the new Zords, like you said, and he explains that they are much more advanced and way, way better and way stronger. Ninja Mega Falcon Zord. And right when they say that, he's all, yeah, you're going to have to work together just like you did previously, and you can create the Ninja Mega Falcon Zord. As soon as he says that and it like flies across the screen, I just envisioned them like having a commercial thing that says, buy now, kids, like available at Toy Store, kids. That's what it seemed like to me. We did get the American suits, the ninja suits that weren't part of the Japanese show. This was completely, so there would be more American footage when they filmed without them having to be in the helmets and costumes a lot. So they have little tiny ice slots in these ninja suits, which had to be hard for the choreographed fight scenes and stuff. Sure. Yeah. But peripherally, like side to side, or in front of you. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here, but about the Zords, later, whenever they're fighting Rito, there is a scene where it's like a black screen and the Zord is like turning and punching, like with the wolf and the bear arm. Yeah. And it looked, and I'm not talking about the footage from Japan where there's all the old buildings and shit. This was like a black screen. It's like, rah, bam, rah, bam. It looked better than the Zords in the movie, like for that one scene. You know? Because probably because it's a practical effect. They went full CGI in the movie, and
yeah.
95 CGI. You know, Josh and I have reviewed a lot of movies on the channel. You should check them out on the main channel. But 90s CGI, when they were trying to go full computer, they just didn't have the technology down yet, and it just looked awful.
I did as a kid thought it was badass when I saw Power Rangers in theaters as a kid, just because it wasn't like the toy thing or somebody in a costume.
Yeah.
But there was something about this shot. It didn't look like a guy in a costume, didn't look like a toy, didn't look like CGI.
Cool.
It looked really cool. Check out the episode during the fight with Rito. It's on YouTube for free, Ninja Quest 3. During that fight, you know, I'll send you a timestamp or something later.
I watched it twice yesterday.
Okay. Well, it's hard to explain the exact scene I'm talking about, but
I know what you're talking about. I do remember seeing them with their new powers in the fight and thinking it did look pretty good. So I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass. I definitely saw that.
And I did get ahead of ourselves. I know, like they pretty much recap the movie here. You know, about you have the grace and something of the crane and the cunning of the wolf. And they, you know, if you've seen the movie, they get their ninja powers. And before we get to see them fight a bunch of peckers, I have a note here that's very important to me. I am proud of Paul Schreier and Jason Narvey in their training scene, because Bulk and School, you see them training, doing, you know, they're doing exercises, jumping jacks, they're running.
Yeah, a little montage.
Paul impressed me, man, for being a big guy. Like, I was impressed by Paul. He's always impressed me on this show.
You know, I think that Paul, like, just looking at his frame back in the 90s, I think he legit probably was very strong. Like, I think he probably, I think his bench and like squat and deadlift were probably pretty respectable, especially when he was in his 20s.
Yeah,
he definitely had the frame for powerlifting, that's for sure.
He was agile too for a big man. You know, a lot of the stunt stuff he really did. We should really try to get him for an interview. That would be amazing. I've talked to him before on Twitter, like private message.
Dude, if listen, I was gonna pay Michael Ray Bauer to be on the channel, and if we can get Paul Schreier, and like I would pay him. So please contact him.
I mean, I've tried. I'm still trying. He does conventions a lot, so he's on the road. But yeah,
well, maybe. Hey, you know what? I know a lot of people. Like, I'm sure Amy Jo Johnson, the Pink Ranger, follows me on Twitter.
Stalker.
Ever since I did the Henry Resilient channel, and he's like a big Power Ranger guy too.
No, she's a stalker. She's stalking Alex, is what I'm saying.
Oh, and Francis, who was JDF's personal assistant, who is a friend of mine on Instagram. I feel like we could somehow get in touch with Paul Schreier somehow through Francis. I feel like we could. I
would love to talk to him and Jason Narvey, but Paul first for sure.
Okay,
yeah, for sure.
I have some notes before we went to the Bulk and Skull thing. I have something about their powers real quick.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Tommy asks, "How do we call on our Zords?" And Ninjor says, "When the time is right, you'll know." So he says, "How do we call on our Zords?" Ninjor says, "When the time is right, we'll know."
That's not what Ninjor said. You got to say it right, Alex.
When the time is right, you'll know.
There you go.
3 seconds, like I timed it. It's like 3 seconds later in real time. Ninjor says there's much to do, and Lord Zed is actually attacking Angel Grove right now with Rito. And this is 3 seconds later. He just said you'll know when to call on your Zords, whatever. Kimberly butts in and says, "Can we call on our Zords now?" He just basically said you'll know when, it's not, now's not the time. And then she says, they find out like all hell's breaking loose, and she says, "Well, can we use him now?"
Kimberly, shut up. She just wants to see him get destroyed so she can like run towards him like she's gonna do something. No! And everybody can grab her and hold her back. But yeah, after the whole Bulk and Skull thing, was that the whole ninja thing?
That was that, but then Ninjor explains that the Tenga warriors are trying to get in the temple.
Yes,
and they need to call on their powers right now.
That's what I was about to say. But yeah. Gotcha. And that's when they put on they morph their ninja. They go from with their faces showing to like the mask come up over their face on their suits, and they start fighting the Peckers. After the Bulk and Skull scene.
Yeah.
And, One Line City, man. bird puns flying left and right, man. Bird puns everywhere. Finger looking good puns here. But is this where they morph, or is that later? Because
if they're, you know what? Let's go to a short commercial break. And then we'll break it down.
okay.
We'll be right back. Bullseye.
Come on, Liz, pick out your cereal and let's get going.
Coming! Oh no, that kid took the last box of Kellogg's Corn Pops. Stay calm. Sir, you're out of Corn Pops.
Liz, just pick something.
Pick something? I want my Corn Pops. Oh, I could be at home eating all the Pops I want, but I'm stuck in the woods on some stupid family vacation, and that little weasel took the last box. Ah!
Nice day.
Yes, I love the woods.
Kellogg's Corn Pops is part of this complete breakfast.
I gotta have my Pops.
Our mission, return to program.
Bullseye.
All right, we're back. Josh, where were we? Had they morphed yet?
Not yet. They're still in their ninja suits, and we get to see Alpha, who is still smoking up a lot of Walter White's supply, apparently, because the command center is in disarray. All the wires are undone. The control panels are still ripped off, and he's trying to fix the viewing globe. And Zordon is like, Alpha, we need the viewing globe working now. And Alpha's like, aye, bitch, I'm trying.
Still riding his ass.
Yes.
Zordon's still riding his ass. This is the first fight scene that I think we've seen in the last 2.5 episodes.
Oh god, yeah, they fought before that, and they're still fighting after Alpha.
Been forever.
And I think
fight scene.
They make the Zords. Oh my god, listen to me. They make the Peckers, the Tengas, fly off finally, and that's when we get our first color morph. Not ape, wolf, bear. It's White Ranger power, Pink Ranger power. That always hit me the wrong way. What about you?
Yeah, well, that's in my dislikes of the episode. I couldn't agree more. I do not like it. And I also have something else to say about the fight scene.
Oh yeah,
the Rangers can pull magic tricks now in their like in their repertoire. They can teleport almost like Scorpion in Mortal Kombat. Rocky can ride on the back of a pecker.
Just pictured that. Does he get a line when he does that?
I think he says like "Ride him, cowboy," or "This is the way to fly," or something. Zordon is right. So I said, yeah, okay. Zordon's still riding Alpha's ass. Alpha fixes the viewing globe finally, so Zordon kind of gives him a break. They pull up the Rangers, and they see that their Ninjor hunch paid off, right? So Not only are the Rangers ninjas now, and they have their powers now, they see the Rangers are fighting the Tanga Warriors. Meanwhile, Rito is about to attack Angel Grove, which is confusing because wasn't he attacking Angel Grove 10 minutes ago?
Yeah, and they always start in the abandoned warehouse section of Angel Grove. but no, they do. You're right. They all got powers just out of the blue,
Yeah. And Josh, I have this like double underlined. They keep saying how much more powerful their new powers are. Like constantly, like especially Aisha. She's like, "Oh yeah, I could get used to this thing, or I could do this." And then like Billy's like, "This is like phenomenal. Like I'm a wolf or whatever the hell." Like they just they're selling to the kids at home that like we're way stronger. These are way cooler. This is way better. Don't look at this hand with the old powers. You don't need to look there anymore. Look right here. This is what you want now.
And you know what? It worked. As a kid, I was loving every second of it. That they were actually superheroes now. It wasn't just morph into suits, fight, get the Zord. They could actually do tricks. Like I had that written down and I missed it.
But
yeah,
they
actually had powers. They were actually Power Rangers. But Ninjor's like trying to talk to him. And I think Tommy's like, Ninjor, Rito's attacking. We've got to go. I have written down like, shut up, Ninjor. We got what we wanted. Bye.
Yeah, Tommy does his typical thing. Like he just disregards anyone above him. And Tommy would be the worst employee to have at any job or restaurant that I've ever worked at. It's like, Tommy, we really need you to we need you to mop, sweep, clean the fryer tonight. It's like, I appreciate that. manager, but I'm gonna do things my way anyway. So just
Looking at the future.
yeah, not paying attention to what you're saying. I'm gonna do things the way Tommy wants to do them. Yeah, Tommy slash Slash-Keteers. Tommy Oliver is my favorite character in the all time history of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This season in particular, he disregards anybody of authority's advice. He just does what he thinks best because he's the hero. He blindly goes into battles when he shouldn't. He leads the Power Rangers into the freaking desert of despair with no water, no lunches, no blankets, nothing.
No Power Ranger mac and cheese, no Power Ranger fruit snacks, none of that.
Uncrustables, nothing. Uncrustables.
He tries to get all the powers for himself, just leaves them to figure out where to go. You know, he knew where to go, didn't wait on his team.
Yeah.
But this is the Zord fight, though, man. This was actually really cool to see the Ninja Zords first, and we got to see them each do an attack before they came together, which was really cool. Like the wolf used its tail, the frog spit fucking fire. Sorry for my language, but yeah, I was expecting a tongue to come out like in the movie, but he's a freaking frog flamethrower, because you know frogs are known for shooting fire out of their mouth, you know.
Definitely.
But when they come together and they're fighting, and you get that scene with the black screen, and like as the bear or the ape hand comes in, you hear like "oh," and then the bears, rah! Really cool shot. Check it out, people. Disappeared.
That's okay. So yeah, so the episode kind of ends with, isn't like Ninjor giving them a pep talk and says Zordon picked well and he couldn't have done better, and they morph, right? And they head to the battle, and they get in the battle, and then the episode ends with the vampirus egg hatching.
The vampire rasp. But yes, Rito gets destroyed, by the way. Like full blown blows up. But then, because they're using footage from Japan where he probably did die, they had to like add like this, his face coming up in like black smoke or something, and he's like, "He who fights and runs away lives to fight another day," and he has like a rose in his mouth. It was weird. That was added because the Japanese footage, I think he died there. He was just a monster.
Not like, we can't kill Rito here. He needs to live to part 4.
He's freaking. He's our Ivan Ooze, damn it. He's our Ivan Ooze Jr. But yeah, it ends with the vampirus egg still in the desert. Yeah, it's still in the desert of despair, and they're on Earth. So Ninjor's powerful, right? Shouldn't he be able to handle this on his own?
Oh yeah, he's the OG actual, like, he's the Master Splinter, basically. Zordon's not even the main guy, obviously. Ninjor is.
And 4 episodes ago, before we came to the Ninja Quest, we were helping out the Masked Rider on his planet the first 3 episodes of the season. So he came to Earth, why doesn't he come help against this stuff, you know?
I don't know. And Shuki Levy wrote on Masked Rider. You think he could have wrote that into the script here? Rangers need their help.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got screwed up.
Vampirus is going to be the last 2 parts of the series, I guess. Is there 5 parts or 4 parts?
4. There's 4.
Okay. So
yeah,
it's all about the vampirus.
Standard questions. Did you like the episode, Josh?
Oh yes, we might shit on it some, you know, make our jokes, but every time I watch it, it just takes me back, and I have a blast watching it. Yes, I liked it.
Lots of new and cool stuff going on. They expand more on the Bulk and Skull plot line and Bulk and Skull's universe. So I always enjoyed it when they would do that. Finally, some fight scenes. We get to meet Ninjor. We get to see the new powers, the new Zords. We get to kind of see a new explanation for them if you hadn't seen the movie, or if you had seen the movie, it's a little different.
No kiss.
Yeah, a lot of really cool stuff in this episode. A lot better than part 2, than the last episode we reviewed. What were your favorite parts of this episode, Josh?
Favorite parts were the Zord fight, because I just love that shot. It's such a quick shot, like 2 seconds, blink and you miss it. The Bulk and Skull stuff, I was really impressed with Paul Schreier in this episode. We love you, Paul. Come talk to us. Seriously.
Let's do lunch.
As a kid, seeing the movie stuff coming onto the TV show, was really cool. So yeah, it's just all around, I enjoyed the entire episode, really.
My favorite parts, Kimberly in her ninja outfit and headband, looking just like a smoke show. finally fight scenes. We got to see the new powers and expanded bulk and skull. My least favorite parts, you go ahead first and then I'll expand on whatever you say.
Ninjor, anytime he spoke. I felt bad for the Rangers. You know, they making these 4 episodes was more acting and screen time than they did for the movie of the same story. And they probably got paid like 7, 8 times more for the movie.
I'm sure they did because
they did this. It's like we're doing the movie again, but just for like no money and like really low budget. No, what I didn't like was when Ninjor talked, all the one-liners when they're fighting the peckers. It's makes it hard when I'm trying to watch this with my wife around. I didn't have a lot of stuff I didn't like this episode.
So. I have like similar stuff. I have underlined probably the dialogue, especially in the fight scenes, because too many one-liners from the peckers and from the Rangers. I didn't like that they just kept hammering home the point that the new powers are so much better than the old powers over and over and over and over again. I know they're trying to get it over with the audience and with the kids, but I get it. Okay, I get it. You don't need to say it 12 times. And I also here's the other thing we talked about earlier. I don't like the new ninja power morph.
No.
Where they say like Black Ranger power, Red Ranger power, White Ranger power. I don't like that.
And they still have the same dino helmets, which is off-putting, you know, like I know they why they change everything, but
you know why they kept the Morphin even though they're not morphine technically anymore? Because it was just part of the brand.
Yeah.
That's it. They didn't even morph anymore technically. How many rocky rides on a pecker out of 4 do you give it? 4 rocky rides on a pecker being the best, 1 rocky ride on a pecker being the worst.
I'm gonna give it 3.5. What did I give the last one? 3.5?
You gave it 3 and I gave it 2.5, and then the Trax Network aggregate score was 2.75.
Oh, I'm gonna give this one 3.5 because it had a lot more action. I really enjoyed the Zord fight, seeing the Zords fighting one-on-one, and the Vulcan Skull stuff. Story progressed, and you know they have to sell the toys too. Your toys at home aren't as powerful as these new toys.
Buy now. Head down to your local Rite Aid or Sprouts Rides or Benjamin Franklin's.
Dude, do you remember the Power Ranger movie Rangers? They were like shiny, like sparkly.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. They lost the rights to the movie, not lost the rights to the movie. They had like a contract. They could sell the movie toys for so long after the movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
And to keep those toys on the market where kids would buy them, the shiny Rangers, they had to repackage them as Power Rangers in metallic armor. And on the TV show, late in season 3, there's 2 episodes. One episode, they get the metallic power. Next episode, they lose all their powers, and the Zeo thing starts.
Yeah.
So they did 2 episodes just so they could sell shiny Rangers again without the movie packaging. So
that was a precursor from Chaim Saban. Do you remember the show Pimp My Ride?
Yes.
It was like an early version, but it was called Pimp My Ranger.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you look closely at the White Ranger suit when it was chromed out after he was on Pimp My Ranger, he actually had a subwoofer, a Rockford Fosgate amp on his back on the vest. Yeah. And he also had some like fuzzy dice like on his mask. And his shoes were bedazzled and chromed out. What did I like about this episode?
What's your score too?
Oh, what's my score? I already said what I liked. My score is 3.5. Yeah, great episode. I liked everything about this episode for the most part. Even though we joked about it, I love it.
Yeah, I'm always going to joke. I love the show.
I would say the only reason it's not a 4 is because of too many one-liners and just Ninjor's voice. I really not a fan of his voice. It ruins it for me, but
season 3 is very solid. Like very good episodes. Very good episodes.
That's the end of the Saturday episode today, buddy.
It was fun. So the score is 3.5, right?
3.5, yeah.
We both gave it that. So
3.5.
All right. Yeah. You've seen the information on the screen throughout the episode. Shoot us an email at /trax2020@gmail.com. If you have a request for an old Saturday morning cartoon episode or Doesn't have to be a cartoon. Something, an old show you'd like us to review. Alex has done a Saved by the Bell. So if you'd like to support the channels, you can do so through our Patreon or our Cameo. Both have been on the screen. You can also donate through PayPal or Cash App. All the information for all these options is in the description below and the pinned comment. Thank you all so much for watching. May the power protect you. And remember, be excellent to each other, and the sun never sets on those who ride into it. Alex, say goodnight, Alex.
Good night, Alex. Mahalo, dogs. And when you're riding on the back of a pecker, buckle up for safety.
Now say goodnight, Ninjor.
Good night, Rangers. Now leave. Don't let the door hit you on the pecker ass when you leave.